Stephanie White is committed to supporting Caitlin Clark and maximizing her success with the Indiana Fever. White has been appointed as the head coach of the Indiana Fever for the upcoming 2025 season and will collaborate with the WNBA's most exciting talent, Clark, next year. Since assuming her role, White has promptly commended the 22-year-old for her composure under pressure and is committed to being a supportive mentor for the young athlete as her coach. Stephanie White was introduced as the new head coach of the Indiana Fever on Monday. Prior to her second tenure as the Fever's coach, White was inquired about the potential of several young talents on the roster, specifically Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston. Both Clark and Boston were chosen with the number 1 pick in the draft for 2024 and 2023, respectively. The duo has rapidly emerged as essential components for Indiana, which made its first playoff appearance since 2016, the same year that marked the end of White's initial tenure as the team's coach. WNBA sensation Caitlin Clark has brought a refreshing energy to the Indiana Fever, and it appears that her new coach, Stephanie White, will contribute positively as well. Clark, 22, has become a leading figure in women's basketball following her impressive debut season with the Fever, during which she earned the Rookie of the Year award. However, Clark's brilliance was insufficient to secure the team's first WNBA title since 2012, as they were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs by the Connecticut Sun. Last month, the Fever parted ways with head coach Christy Sides, and this week announced former Connecticut head coach, White, 47, as her replacement. In response to the news, NBC Sports analyst Terica Foster-Brasby stated that she anticipates an immediate impact from her, both on and off the court. Fever fans are often perceived as negative, but Brasby believes that could shift with White in a leadership role. She will definitely not tolerate any negativity associated with Fever fans, Brasby stated on her platform. And we understand that it's not representative of all fans, but there are specific individuals who leverage the Fever name to express sentiments that are contrary to the values upheld by the WNBA. Stephanie White is consistently vocal about such matters, and she will not tolerate any related issues. She will not tolerate it. Brasby also encouraged the Indiana native to foster some optimism within the Fever locker room. From an off-court perspective, I believe the culture will undoubtedly change, she stated. I did not regularly cover Indiana to ascertain if there was a negative culture present. However, White fosters a culture of winning, confidence, and awareness of one's public persona. From a competitive perspective, Brasby anticipates that Indiana will significantly improve its defensive strength. I know one thing, Steph White prefers a quick, fast-paced offense, she continued. It was challenging to accomplish that in Connecticut, as they had an older team. This team is significantly younger, which suggests that the offensive style is likely to be effective in this context. Another aspect we highlighted about Connecticut was their dedication to defense. That defensive presence was crucial to their success. This indicates that the Fever team must commit to enhancing their defensive capabilities, regardless of our desire to acknowledge Caitlin Clark's achievements, which we certainly should. We also need to be frank that their defense has not been the strongest for this Fever team, particularly concerning Caitlin Clark. That's where I believe Steph will make an immediate impact. She will establish a structure to which everyone must be committed. This indicates that there is a possibility Clark's game will undergo significant changes next season, as White aims to strengthen the franchise's reputation for being well-organized and defensively sound. Will that assist or obstruct the girl wonder? I suppose we will have to wait and see. Sue Bird critiqued Angel Reese by contrasting her performance with Caitlin Clark's, pointing out that Reese did not reach the playoffs with the Chicago Sky in her rookie season, unlike Bird and Clark. Bird dedicated her entire 20-year WNBA career to the Seattle Storm before retiring in 2022. The 44-year-old American-Israeli was selected as the first overall pick in 2002, similar to Clark's selection by the Indiana Fever in 2024. Clark won Rookie of the Year last season after making a significant impact in the league, while Reese dropped out of contention due to an injury. In addition to making compelling cases for the award, both individuals recently experienced their teams dismissing their respective head coaches. In an episode of A Touch More featuring Megan Rapinoe, Bird discussed the WNBA's distinctive offseason, during which nearly half of the teams parted ways with their head coaches. She drew parallels between her own experience as a rookie with Seattle and those of Clark and Reese. Bird remarked, "In 2002, my rookie year, it wasn't that different from what Angel and Caitlin are experiencing," while highlighting the distinctions between that Storm team and this season's Fever in a lighthearted manner. She further noted, "It's somewhat more similar to Caitlin's situation because we made the playoffs." Bird continued, "We were a team with young talent, and also with expectations due to myself and Lauren Jackson, back-to-back #1 picks. However, it's uncertain how we will perform. The season was inconsistent. We made the playoffs but lost in the first round to the eventual champions, the LA Sparks. The Fever also lost in the first round. Meanwhile, Chicago's loss of Reese to a wrist injury was a significant setback, as the Sky ended up losing 5 consecutive games in her absence and failed to qualify for the playoffs. The Fever have since announced the appointment of Stephanie White as their new head coach. White, who has spent the last 2 seasons at the helm of the Connecticut Sun, is set to take charge of the dynamic franchise, succeeding Christy Sides, who guided the Fever to a 20-20 record last season in their first playoff appearance since 2016. Meanwhile, the Sky announced on Saturday the appointment of Tyler Marsh as the successor to Teresa Weatherspoon, following a season where they finished 13-27 and missed the playoffs for the first time since 2018. Marsh is the team's 4th coach since the Sky won the WNBA championship in 2021. Caitlin Clark's brief, 10-second encounter with women's basketball legend Maya Moore is an experience she asserts changed her life. The Indiana Fever guard has established herself as one of the sport's emerging talents, gaining recognition as a record breaker for the Iowa Hawkeyes during her collegiate career. The 22-year-old is the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I history and was a 2-time National Player of the Year with the Hawkeyes. She has continued her success into her WNBA career this year. However, despite the unparalleled popularity that the Rookie of the Year has brought to women's basketball, there is one player she credits with igniting her passion for the sport. In 2012, a then 10-year-old Clark traveled with her family to Minneapolis to watch Moore compete for the Minnesota Lynx against the Seattle Storm. This experience significantly impacted her young life. Moore could be seen as an earlier version of Clark in the sport, as her skills in passing, shooting, and dribbling led to 2 undefeated seasons, 4 Final Four appearances, and 2 national championships with the University of Connecticut. Subsequently, she joined the Minnesota Lynx and achieved remarkable success, securing 4 WNBA championships, multiple MVP titles, and 2 Olympic gold medals with Team USA in 2012 and 2016. Moore's encounter with Clark occurred when the Iowa-born fan traveled 3 hours from Des Moines to Minneapolis to watch the Hall of Famer in a WNBA game. According to The Athletic, Clark approached Moore and embraced her, remarking that this was the moment that changed her life. The 22-year-old stated, "I didn't have a phone, I didn't have a Sharpie, I just gave her a hug and I ran away. And she simply embraced me in return. It's a thought that has stayed with me. One interaction can change someone's life." Since that moment, Clark has emerged as a phenomenon in the WNBA, enjoying a stellar first season with the Fever. Both she and the sport can be grateful that she summoned the courage to embrace Moore in 2012. Speaking to Essentially Sports, White remarked, "I believe all the noise surrounding her, all the hype around her, is something you can't truly prepare for. However, she and her family have done an excellent job of navigating the situation. I aspire to be an additional resource for her. Another individual who can assist her in managing the challenges she is facing. Because it is not. It cannot be easy, I cannot imagine that it is. At the same time, her ability to prioritize her job in basketball, striving to be the best she can be, is commendable. I believe she has done an exceptional job." The 47-year-old has also highlighted Clark's maturity in her role in the WNBA, stating, "I find her to be gracious and composed in her approach to all situations. Mature for her age. At the end of the day, she is a basketball player striving to achieve her highest potential." What distinguishes a truly great sports star? Is it their individual talent or the existence of a similarly strong rival? In the context of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, 2 of the most prominent players in the WNBA, this dynamic has ignited passionate discussion. A respected analyst recently raised an intriguing question: what would occur if Reese and Clark competed in different eras? Would Reese attract the same level of attention? Sirat Sohi, a WNBA expert from The Ringer, recently examined this rivalry with Van Lathan, drawing parallels between the dynamic of Reese and Clark and the legendary Magic Johnson vs. Larry Bird's rivalry. However, Sohi argues that Reese's career is unjustly overshadowed by continual comparisons to Clark. It is such a disservice to Angel Reese that every conversation around her is in comparison to Caitlin Clark. Now you have this elite rebounder and defensive player who possesses significant potential, Sohi points out. With an average of 13.1 rebounds and 13.2 points per game, Angel Reese made a notable impact on the court during her rookie season with the Chicago Sky. Her proficiency in the paint and dog mentality has established her as a formidable presence, contributing to Chicago's status as one of the leading teams in second-chance points and points in the paint in the league. The addition of third overall pick Camila Cardozo has enhanced Chicago's rebounding capabilities, enabling the team to control possession in crucial matches. So he addresses the core of the matter: if she weren't competing against this generational rookie who is transforming the game, she would have been the Rookie of the Year. However, since everything is viewed through Caitlin's perspective, we tend to concentrate more on the shortcomings. For many, Clark's rise to stardom began even before Reese appeared, attracting record-breaking audiences for Iowa's games and igniting a media frenzy. Does the Clark effect overshadow Reese's impact unfairly? The rivalry has become iconic, transcending the court to influence culture. Reese's notable ring-pointing gesture and "you can't see me" taunt during LSU's NCAA Finals victory over Clark's Iowa team made a significant impression on fans, igniting discussions about who genuinely embodies the future of the WNBA. According to analyst Van Lathan, Angel, with all her flashiness and brashness, contrasts sharply with Caitlin Clark, who is perceived as America's golden girl, resulting in a distinctive and exciting rivalry. With the emergence of young talents such as Paige Bueckers and Juju Watkins, inquiries regarding the future of the WNBA are already coming to the forefront. While Sophie acknowledges the potential of the next generation, she believes they lack that indefinable spark that captivates fans. If Angel can be a relevant enough player, it will always be about that, because both Angel and Caitlin have that. However, the underlying question remains: does every great athlete need an equally fierce rival? For now, Reese and Clark are not only rivals but also catalysts in attracting new attention to women's basketball. All attention is focused on the WNBA to determine whether this rivalry will prevail or if a new chapter in the league's history will unfold with new personalities leading the way. Caitlin Clark may be poised for a lucrative opportunity as a result of an interview with renowned comedian David Letterman. It has been announced that Letterman will be interviewing the Indiana Fever star at Ball State University in December. Clark will be the most recent guest in the David Letterman Distinguished Professional Lecture and Workshop Series, established in 2008. Letterman graduated from the University in Muncie, Indiana, in 1969, and has since become one of the college's most prominent figures, having interviewed notable individuals such as Oprah Winfrey and Rachel Maddow as part of the series. Given Clark's prominence in women's basketball and in Indiana, it is understandable that the 77-year-old chose to interview the star. Caitlin Clark has showcased her latest collaboration with Wilson as she continues to establish herself as a leading brand ambassador in the sports industry. The Indiana Fever star has introduced a new line of basketballs with the sporting goods company, just weeks after her previous Inspire Series collection sold out in under 40 minutes. Titled the Journey Series, the new collection includes 2 additional Clark-themed basketballs, one black and one white, released to pay tribute to the 22-year-old's journey thus far, reflecting the stops made along the way, according to Wilson's website. Clark has now posted the promotional announcement for her new release to her Instagram story, where her 3 million followers are likely to rush to purchase the latest item in her collection before it inevitably sells out again. Priced at $19.95 each, the 2 differently colored basketballs symbolize distinct aspects of Clark's remarkable journey thus far. According to the product description, the every point black basketball symbolizes leaving your legacy on the court with each shot you take. Designed with speckled dots, it visually represents Caitlin's shooting chart from her college career, where she scored every point, with each dot symbolizing a colorway from Caitlin's teams, spanning high school to college to professional. The Make Your Mark white basketball is said to celebrate all of Clark's achievements, including her emergence as one of the WNBA's brightest stars after leading the Fever to the playoffs for the first time since 2016 and accumulating significant net worth. This basketball is designed to commemorate the moments on each team that helped her make a mark at every level, stated Wilson, the official basketball of the WNBA. This recent release further emphasizes how active Clark has been during the offseason, as she has been spotted attending high-profile events, playing golf, and returning to her alma mater. Additionally, she has managed to honor her endorsement commitments, with Wilson being just one among many. Nonetheless, the iconic brand is undoubtedly benefiting from the multi-year agreement signed with the WNBA star in May. Paige Bueckers may be selected by the Chicago Sky in the WNBA draft, creating an exciting pairing with Angel Reese. The 2024 WNBA regular season featured an intriguing narrative as rivals Reese and Caitlin Clark competed for the Rookie of the Year award. Amid significant anticipation, Clark secured the award by averaging 19.2 points, 5.7 rebounds, and a league-leading 8.4 assists per game, leading the Indiana Fever to the playoffs. However, Reese still had a remarkable debut season in her own right. The 22-year-old was solidly competing with Clark before her injury, completing her rookie season with averages of 13.6 points and 13.4 1 rebounds. As she looks forward to her sophomore season, Reese has expressed her openness to adding talent to the Sky, whether through free agency or the draft. For the 2025 WNBA draft, Chicago is competing for the top picks as one of the 4 lottery teams. Booker's is the presumed number 1 overall pick due to her impressive resume and superstar status. The WNBA draft lottery is scheduled for Sunday, November. The Sky aims to surpass the Dallas Wings, Washington Mystics, and Los Angeles Sparks. If the Sky secures the opportunity to select Booker's, the franchise will likely pair her with the 23-year-old Connecticut standout. The decision would certainly be welcomed by Booker's. In an interview with Sports Illustrated earlier this year, collegiate stars Juju Watkins and Cooper Flagg joined Booker's in expressing their opinions on who should win the highly publicized Rookie of the Year award between Clark and Reese. Flagg chose Clark, Watkins selected Reese, while Booker's remarked that both athletes were deserving of the honor. She stated, "You can't go wrong with Angel Reese or Caitlin." After demonstrating potential early in the 2024 WNBA season and positioning themselves for a postseason appearance, the team's performance faltered significantly towards the end, especially following Reese's season-ending wrist injury. Chicago concluded the season with a record of 13-27, finishing 4 games worse than their record from the previous season. The disappointing conclusion of the season resulted in the dismissal of head coach Teresa Weatherspoon, with former Las Vegas Aces assistant Tyler Marsh assuming control of the Sky. The hire thrilled Reese, and she would certainly be eager to connect with Booker's in Chicago. With Reese and fellow rookie standout Camila Cardozo as the foundational elements of the Sky's future, Marsh will aim to cultivate his duo of bigs and assist them in achieving their promising potential. He has received acclaim for his player development skills, particularly his work with 3-time MVP A'ja Wilson. Unrivaled has reportedly extended an appealing contract to Clark, featuring a salary exceeding $1 million, along with equity and revenue-sharing conditions that are comparable to high-profile agreements, such as Lionel Messi's recent deal with Apple. Despite this considerable offer, Clark is still deliberating her options, recognizing the league's interest while maintaining flexibility regarding her future plans. When asked about joining Unrivaled, Clark provided a measured response, "We'll see. I am uncertain. I am simply approaching it as it comes and will decide later if I wish to participate." Unrivaled has already attracted prominent figures, including Angel Reese, Jewel Lloyd, Aliyah Boston, Clark's teammate from the Indiana Fever, and her former Iowa teammate, Kate Martin. President of Unrivaled, Alex Basil, is confident that there will always be a position available for Caitlin Clark whenever she is prepared to return. "We will always have a roster spot for Caitlin Clark," Basil stated in an interview, highlighting Unrivaled's respect for Clark's need for time off. He added, "We are allowing her to decompress from basketball. She understands that we have a position available for her when she is ready, while the official roster will be announced on November. Clark has until that date to make her decision." Currently, her rookie contract with the Indiana Fever does not provide a bonus for taking the offseason off, meaning her decision is primarily influenced by her present goals and needs rather than any contractual incentives. Clark's workload and commitment during her rookie season have sparked speculation regarding her potential decision to forego the league's opening season, choosing instead to recharge and concentrate on her WNBA performance. Joining Unrivaled would position Clark among some of the most prominent figures in basketball, allowing her to engage in a league poised to make a significant impact in the sport. With its distinctive 3-on-3 format and dedication to advancing women's sports, Unrivaled has garnered attention from both fans and athletes.